What's good, my nigga?
What it do, man? How you feeling,
Man,
bro?
I'm feeling good, man.
Yeah.
It's another episode.
Another episode. This is number 2.
Number 2, y'all.
You know what I'm
Of
saying?
on to the next.
On to the next. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to all of our followers,
For sure.
all of our supporters, man. We definitely appreciate y'all. Thank you for tuning in.
Yep.
I'm your host, Big Sin, aka Life of Sin. I'm chilling with my main man.
Santo De Niro, a.k.a. Mr. Clean.
You already know what it is. Welcome to On to the Next. We're gonna
Right.
break it off. How you feeling, brother?
Oh, man, I'm feeling vainglorious, brother.
Vainglorious. I like
Yeah,
that.
man.
Vainglorious.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
man.
saying?
It's a lot of black power going on in the world right now.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah, like black presidents. Not
Yeah.
not Obama, but, you know. Not Obama, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
But,
right,
you
right.
know, we got another black president. We got Tory Lanez is in the news, you know.
Yeah. Tory Lanez is definitely in the news. We're gonna touch up on that.
Yep.
You know what I mean? We're gonna give y'all a follow-up on Ronnie Henson Jr.
Yes, sir. Got to.
You know what I mean? But you know, definitely what's going down right now. We just gonna get right into it. You
Let's
know what
get
I
it.
mean? Because that's what we do here.
Yes, sir.
You know, Africa is making a lot of noise right
Yeah.
now.
Active
man.
move. They active. Active.
They active.
Shout out to Africa.
Hey.
Shout out Africa. You know what I'm saying? Y'all doing y'all stuff down there.
So you know, enlighten us, Tonto. What's going on out there
Oh
right
man,
now?
they got a 36-year-old president, Ibrahim Traore.
Traore.
Yes, sir.
Hey, this man is making noise right now.
We're
Man.
not playing with him, bro.
He's not playing with
He's
it.
standing on business.
He's definitely standing on business,
And
bro.
that's the type of business we need to see. You know, it's like he got their country out of debt the first 2 years that he been in office. Man, like they paid off all their debts. So that's one of the reasons why they kicking all of the foreign industries out the country. Because when they was there, it wasn't nothing but turmoil. They getting in more debt. It wasn't no production. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So now with him there, he like, we got to get all of these people out of here because we not relying on foreign industries. So now it's like a little backlash from that.
Right.
But he's just getting his country in order, bro. You know,
Right,
being
right,
more
right, right.
self-sufficient.
Yeah, I heard he kicked out France Air. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Get
their
out of here.
airline.
Scram.
Got him up out of there, and he ended up buying 2 planes. I want to say it's like 2 or 3 planes that he bought. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
To basically kind of assert their new dominance of, hey, look, we don't need your resources anymore.
Bro,
you know
they
what I
don't,
mean? We
bro.
can kind of do it on our own.
Hey.
And he has a lot of young followers out there in Africa that love this guy right now,
Yeah,
man.
Yeah. You know, it's like all of the farmers out there, is 80% of the people are farmers
Okay.
out there. So they agriculture is big.
Oh.
So it's like, why do they need to outsource for food when 80% of the people is farmers?
Right.
And then on top of that, 90% of the people are young.
That's crazy.
So they like, psh, the youngsters is out there full of energy, turning into farmers. He taking the jails and making those the inmates do farming just to help out. You know what I'm saying? They
That's
have
nice.
more resources. You know
That's
what I'm saying?
crazy.
So now they don't have to beg people for food. So I totally understand what he doing, bro.
Yeah.
Breaking away from all of these other people that enslaved the country and
Right.
raped them.
He's even linked up recently, just in case you guys didn't know, with Vladimir Putin.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Hooked up with Russia.
You know, and I know that there's always like this controversy about Russia and things of that nature, but we only know from kind of like the American side on what we've been told and things of that nature. But
Right.
I think it's very interesting, you know what I mean, that him and Vladimir Putin have definitely linked up, you know, as far as the resources that they can exchange
Right.
with one another and how they can benefit off of one another,
Yeah.
bro.
And negotiations, man.
Negotiations.
Conversations rule the nations, man.
Negotiations is everything. And then Torre, am I saying it right? Torre?
Is
Torre?
Traore. Traore.
My apologies.
Yes, sir.
Traore. You
Yeah,
know what I
salute.
mean?
Salute, President.
Yeah, salute to that man. And you want to know what's so crazy? Because he doesn't believe in Western ideology at all.
Smart.
If you ever seen him and any of his meetings with any of the people from other countries, any of the other leaders,
Yeah.
he gives them fist bumps, bro.
For sure. He don't shake their hand.
He don't shake their hand. The only person that I've actually seen him shake hand is Vladimir Putin, though. He shook Vladimir Putin's hand.
That's probably because he doing business fair.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean?
It's mutual respect. So,
Yeah, you know what I mean?
I
But
get it.
everybody else, he gives them a straight fist bump.
Yeah, and that's dope.
That's like, you know, at the end of the day, they are trying to distinguish themselves as we are not like the rest of the world.
Right.
I think
And
that's
And
amazing.
he's young. He's what, the second youngest president?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
What is he, like 36?
36 years old.
He's 36 years old,
That's crazy.
36-year-old president.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And he walks around with a burner on his hip.
For sure. Come on, man. You a black president. You gotta stay strapped
That
up.
man goes everywhere with a burner on his hip.
Blicky stay sticky, man, you know, but he definitely needed because he's a target. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
like all of the other great African leaders that tried to come, they all got what I want to say, you know how they oppress them, you know what I'm saying, or make it hard for him to stand up.
Right.
He ain't going
Try
for
to
none of that.
assassinate
Come on,
him
bro.
or
Yeah, man, we tired of that stuff, man.
that's crazy.
So yeah, he doing his stuff, man. And Africa, like where he's from, that part of the country, that's one of the biggest producers of gold. So they got money. They just was getting raped for their resources by all
Right.
these other foreign countries,
And
man.
they took all of that. I heard that they kicked a lot of those people out of them gold mines too.
Bro,
Got them up out of there.
They got to. You gotta unask this stuff, man.
Yeah.
So that's why Trump is kind of tripping, like, oh, they killing white farmers and all that. Well, it's not their land. Even though they was born in Africa, they still European descent.
Right.
So a lot of their ancestors that came, they was raping Africa.
Right.
So that's all they admitting to is, oh yeah, I'm a white South African. Yeah, your ancestors came over here and raped Africa for gold, diamonds, and all other minerals.
Right.
Y'all didn't come over here and help the country.
That's crazy.
So
And it's important. Look, you guys, it is important for you guys to really know what's going on around the world, because what goes on around the world ultimately affects us here at home at some point. You know
Man.
what I mean?
Yes, sir.
And it's even interesting because that president basically said to all of the Western black people, y'all can come on back. You know what I mean? Just understand that when you come to Africa now, we want you to kind of forget about the Western ideology.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
So you
But
gotta
you guys are
unlearn.
more than welcome to come on back home to your native land, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Right.
I've never been to Africa. I'm gonna keep it 1,000. I would
neither.
love to go.
Yeah.
That is on my bucket list to go.
Definitely.
I have definitely done a lot of studying of their country. You know what I mean? Not even they are not necessarily. They are a big what is the word? Conglomerate.
It's a continent.
A continent, yeah. They are one of the biggest continents in the world.
Yeah, it's like made up like 54 sovereign states, 8 cities and islands, part of the non-Afro states, and 2 de facto independent states with limited or no recognition.
Right.
So they got 2 states that they don't even. That's just a piece of land over there. That's how big it is. Like, oh man, we got that, but we ain't tripping.
That's crazy. And to our viewers, I'm sure you guys are wondering, like, why are they reporting on this? And I'll tell you guys why, right? Because just recently, everything that's going on within Africa, like I said, is affecting us here at home somehow, some way. Why would it affect us here? Because President Trump has just now basically given asylum to all of these African farmers. I mean, and here's the funny
That's
thing
crazy.
about that, because he just got rid of so many immigrants.
Right. But you're gonna let the white.
ICE is running around kicking
Immigrants,
everybody
yeah.
out of here right now.
Right.
ICE is
Gaffing
running
the
around
people
kicking out Asians, black people, Hispanics, anybody that's just what came here supposedly illegally.
Yeah.
But he gave asylum only to white South African, and a lot of those people are farmers, but a lot of those individuals that came from South Africa come from generations of wealthy South Africans who were a part of that first era of genocide.
Come on, bro. That's why they need to go to Europe. Why are they coming to America? Why are we harboring some more barbaric people? Even though what happened to them is bad, but look what their wealth is built on.
I mean, look, I'm gonna say this: what happened to him is bad, but it's it's no worse than what
Slavery.
their ancestors did to the
us.
people of Africa.
Yeah.
They went in there and slaughtered those people. And this is things that everybody needs to know, because everybody's like, oh, yeah, well, I don't understand what the big deal is. You got to know what goes on around the world.
Yeah.
If you're going to talk about it, if you're going to have an opinion about it, you should know the history of it.
Right.
Africa still is one of the major places in the world that has all of the minerals.
That's the cradle of civilization.
Literally.
The cradle.
That's where the majority of the gold comes from.
Diamonds.
Diamonds, you know what I'm saying?
Cobalt.
Everything. So people got to understand that at some point, Africa was doing fine on their own, and they were colonized.
Yep. And maybe,
And there was mass genocide that went on.
sure, man.
Mass
Still,
genocide.
it's still, you know.
And it's funny how now history repeats itself, but in a different type of way. You know what I mean? Because now what's happening is that they're reclaiming what was rightfully theirs in
As
the
they
first
should.
place.
As they should.
So I really, this whole thing about bringing in the immigrants now, which I would call them, they're immigrants.
Definitely.
They're bringing them in and they're giving them asylum. They're going to get all the benefits, probably way better benefits than you and I.
Of course.
They're going to get way better benefits than any other white people out here, any other individuals that have come out here. These people, let me just tell you, they have a code system set up for these refugees. They're going to get all type of resources. They're set up with funding. They're set up with housing. They're going to be able to open up bank accounts. They're going to be able to open up businesses. And guess what? They're going to be in our neighborhoods trying to push their agenda.
Of course.
Now, if you don't know the history, I would advise a lot of you guys to do your history on South African white farmers and what took place in the early 1900s, in the early 1800s, really in the early 1900s, though. It was bad out there. And you got those group of people, their descendants are now coming out here. And we have a president that has just given them asylum, but in the same sense has said everyone else has to go. I find that really ironic. And here's what the funny thing about that is. The MAGA people are really quiet about this. They're really quiet about this. You know what I mean? And not trying to make it a political stance, but they're quiet about it because I'm pretty sure a lot of them are like, But I would say, and I'm going to just keep it 100, that I feel like he just made a really bold move, basically in the face of Americans, that racism is alive and well.
Of course.
And we just cannot tolerate that.
Hell no.
You know what I mean? So we as a people, I don't care if you were black, white, Asian, whatever the case may be, this is a time where we really all have to unite. And I'm sorry, but all this racism shit, and all these things that are going on, like I'm really opposed to it all.
Yeah, bro.
I'm just being honest.
It's pretty disgusting.
You know what I mean? Because I got friends on all sides of the line. And it's just like it's really disgusting. You know what I mean? But I think that they're trying to bring up their numbers. This was a move that him and Elon Musk kind of put together. And it's being implemented on a major scale right now, bro. So, but our president, what's his name again? Mr.
Ibrahim Traore.
Traore. I love how you say that, bro. Ibrahim Traore.
Ibrahim
Ibrahim
Traore.
I love that.
Yeah,
and if you ever get a chance to look at this dude, everywhere he goes, he has a really big smile on his face.
Yeah.
Because he's you know what I mean? He's a young voice.
Yeah.
And I think the young people of Africa are really appreciative of what he is doing, what he's about to do.
Yeah, he cracking, bro.
He's cracking right now, man.
Active.
So, definitely that's something to keep an eye on. Keep an eye on what's about to happen in Africa. Keep an eye on what's going to continue to happen in Africa. But definitely those are things that can ultimately affect life here in the U.S. for sure.
I think definitely it's going to shake up all across the world. Like the Africans here in America, we have to wake up as well. Like we need to be more self-sufficient as well. Like we outsource too much. Right. Why we not building shit in America? Why we always got to go to China to get tomatoes and apples and all of this shit?
Right.
What's wrong with the ground here?
Man.
That's what I'm saying, bro. They focus on the problem too much and not the solution. That's why Ibrahim Traore, he's a solutionist, bro. Like, fuck all of the problem shit. Let's get down to the solution. We need the machines and we need the manpower and the education.
Yeah.
Focus on that, and then you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
I'm interested to see what goes on in the next couple of years, especially with him linking up with Russia. I'm really interested to see what goes on in the next couple of years. So we definitely want to keep our eye on this because it's going to be big for the entire world.
Yeah,
you know
shout
what
out
I mean?
to Russia too for keeping it 100. They down with us, bro. You know what I'm saying? They came out with the black Jesus and the black, you know what I'm saying? Somebody know the truth over there, right?
Hey, this guy's crazy.
Cuckoo. I'm crazy, right?
Hey, but as we always
You know
do,
what
man,
I'm saying? We
gonna slide on to the next.
on to the next.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Rodney Henson Jr. You know what I mean? We last week we gave y'all a report about Rodney Henson Jr. And this is just a quick follow-up on that. Recently, there has been a $25 million lawsuit that has been placed on the Cincinnati Police Department.
Yep.
And basically what it's saying is that Rodney Henson Jr.'s rights were violated when he was arrested because they pretty much beat him up while he was in jail.
Man, they don't. That's kind of easy to believe because
It's way easy to believe.
The charges that he's faced with, you already know them dudes. You can see the look on their face when they had him in court.
Yeah.
But that was after they allegedly beat him up. That's why he had his chin up. You know what I'm saying? You see the bruises on his face.
Right.
And all of that shit to where it was some foul play for sure, bro.
Yeah, man. And I just think, it was one of those things to where you kind of already suspected that was probably going to happen. But he has a lawyer that has definitely filed a motion, you know what I mean, that he should be paid based on his injuries, based on the fact that his rights were violated.
Yep, $25 million.
Yeah, rightfully so.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. It again, going back to my original comment, it just doesn't give the police a right to just kind of take matters into their own hand. Let the law take care of the situation. And I'm not talking about the law as far as the police. I'm talking about the law, the statute of the law. Let that run its course. But to, beat this man down while he's in custody, again, that's why I say the police have created a reputation for themselves.
Yeah.
Doing things like that, So, it's still going up in Cincinnati, Ohio, because of the situation. They still have not released the name of the police officer.
They not gonna release it, man. I don't think.
That's just weird to me, though.
Because to me, I think they might be trying to get their facts together. But see, now that we got the internet, thank you, internet. See, once these cameras cut on and you get caught on camera, the body cam, all of this shit, it's like they got the cameras to use against us, but they actually using against them too. Because we seen the video, bro. Did you see any? I didn't see the brother point a gun at him or none of that.
There are so many videos out there now. There are so many people that have watched that video, slowed it down, trying to analyze it to see where Ryan Henson was actually pointing a gun at the police officer. And we have all seen the exact same footage. We don't see a gun. We don't see Ryan Henson pointing a gun actually at the police officer. So, again, this is not our first rodeo when false accusations are being reported. And, again, our hearts go out to the entire Henson family.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? We know that you guys are going through a lot, but here at On to the Next, we wish you nothing but the best.
Yeah, man.
And we wish that, we hope that you guys have a really good outcome.
Yeah.
With this whole situation.
Keep your head up, man.
Yeah, you know what I mean? What else is going on in the news, man? What's up with my man Tory Lanez, man?
Man, Tory Lanez and got stabbed up at the Tehachapi Correctional Center.
Oh, yeah.
They had to transfer him to another jail, man. The SAs got on him in there, man. I don't know if he...
I heard they have to fly him out. I heard he got hit 14 times.
Yep.
So this was at the beginning of the week, you know what I mean? And now he's in great condition. You know what I mean? He at first he was in critical condition. But now he's speaking, you know, he can talk. Like they said, he's been laughing, you know, just trying to get back to his normal self. But you know, it's unfortunate, you know what I mean? It's unfortunate that he's even in there.
Right. Man had to go through that.
You know what
too.
I'm saying? But the fact that he has to go through that is just kind of like it's just really unfortunate. So, you know, we really wish Tory Lanez the best. We wish you a speedy recovery, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because we do rock with you here on to the next, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it is an unfortunate situation, man.
And he's a dope artist too. Like Tory Lanez is that nigga dope.
Yeah. He got some slappers out there.
Yeah. So.
You know, so like I said, it's unfortunate, man. And you want to know, it just kind of sucks, man, because you know he's an artist, you know, like he is a musician, and I know that everybody kind of goes through their situations in life, but you got to you still have to have a little bit of empathy. I think you should, you know what I mean? I don't know how you feel, but I think you should have like a little bit of empathy.
Mustard seed.
You know,
little mustard seed.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just really unfortunate.
Yeah,
you know
bro.
what I mean? So, you know, like I said, we wish him the best.
Yep.
We hope that he has a speedy recovery, and we hope that he can see himself back to being whatever he would consider to be normal.
Yeah, man, get your ass out of jail, man. Fuck jail.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And speaking of jail, right? I always like to kind of enlighten people. You know, we are living in a time right now, bro, where it just does not pay to do anything out here, man.
Crash dummy.
Bro,
Don't be a crash dummy.
hey, let me tell you, man, it is cameras everywhere out here, bro.
Yes, sir.
It just doesn't pay to do anything out here, you know what I mean, that is going to risk your freedom.
Yeah.
And this is just a message to the youngsters out there, you know what I mean? I know they got this term YN. I don't like that term, bro.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you. I do not like the term YN. I don't know where that came from, whatever the case is, but I just don't like that term because it puts another stigma on our youth. You know what I mean?
young
like,
nigga.
yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like, even though, you know, that's something that we used within our own conversation, but now the fact that it is just kind of like bred out there worldwide, I just really don't like that term, bro. You know what I mean? And here's what I'm gonna say: if it's one of those things to where you call yourself a YN, I'm gonna give you some game right now, straight up, bro. If you out here doing dirt, you better beware, because there's a camera on every corner. There is a camera damn near on every house. There's a camera on your phone.
Cars.
There's a camera on the cars.
Yep, Teslas.
I mean, there's cameras everywhere.
Yeah,
And what is happening right now is that the FBI are using these cameras to catch individuals. They will piece up your entire day off of camera footage and place you right at the scene of the crime. I'm going to say that one more time for y'all hard-headed people out there. It does not pay. The FBI will piece up this camera footage step by step your entire day.
For all you niggas that think y'all invisible. Niggas say, they don't see me.
AI.
Nigga, they see you, nigga. They can't see me. I'm a fly on the wall. Nigga, they got you leaving out the house, pulling up to the scene of the crime, getting out the car, cocking a gun. Bro.
It's
buzzers.
wicked.
It's buzzers, bro.
And then let me tell you this, right? How much they have incorporated AI into our everyday lives.
Yeah.
AI has, and we're just at the beginning pages of this AI story, right? That is being created out here, bro.
Fuck with the AI.
You know, and I love AI. You know what I mean? But I like it because I think it's innovative. It's something that our generation has watched on movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And now we're actually seeing it come to life. You know what I mean? Because back in the day, you're looking at this like artificial intelligence. What is all this? But if you had your third eye open, you would realize that movies kind of tell you what the future is going to be about. And the reason why I'm so big on this is because a lot of young people can really keep themselves out of situation that you will wash your life away because you think you're out here being slick, doing something, and guess what? Somebody has a camera phone on you somewhere.
Yeah.
There's a video footage of you somewhere, and when you're doing all this dirt, your biometrics are all right here. Okay? So once AI picks up on all of this,
Your biometrics.
once AI picks up on all of this,
Got you.
we got you.
Yeah.
Got you, nigga.
Yeah. And then look, you know what they say? Man, it wasn't me. You dumbass nigga. It was you, bro.
That's just, and I'm just saying this to any and everybody, man. You just got to be more cautious about what you do out here. You know, and I understand that, you know, there are situations out here where you're forced to defend yourself or whatever the case is. But when you're just really out here just being reckless, being crash dummies, hey,
man.
look, it becomes a situation to where you are now really just saying, hey, come and get me.
Yeah.
Every time you do this, right? Yeah, we about to pull up to the hood and there's a camera right there. Recording your biometrics, because guess what? You guys are going to go online and put this online. And anything that goes online stays online.
And they got your location.
Bruh.
So you can't say, man, I wasn't there. I was at work. You got to really be at work. And that's one thing that saved us too. Like, if you at work and you on camera at work, they can't say that you was at the scene of the crime because you got footage of you being at work,
Right.
flipping burgers or whatever it is a nigga do. Bro, you got to be out the way.
Right. The FBI has an entire database on millions and millions of Americans. Everything from Instagram to TikTok to Facebook, all of that stuff is created into like one type of algorithm.
Yeah.
And it creates kind of like a story about you, the person that you are. You know what I mean? You ever seen Minority Report?
Yeah.
I don't know if any of y'all ever seen Minority Report with Tom Cruise.
Dope movie.
Dope movie. Go check that out. It's an old school movie though. When did Minority Report come out?
Probably in 2000s or something.
Yeah, man. That
Mid 2000s.
like early 2000s or something like that. You know what I mean?
Super dope,
But
though.
it was crazy what they did. They were doing the same thing in Minority Report. And what they had was pre-crime.
Yeah. Know you gonna do it before you do it.
Man.
Say, man, get this thing off the street.
Right. They talking about pre-crime right now,
Right.
bro.
For sure.
Like, and that's the crazy part about it. Y'all better pay attention to what's going on.
Yeah.
And what the pre-crime is they're basing it off of your mannerisms, how you are,
Yeah.
and your past actions
Characteristics.
and characteristics.
Yeah,
Thank
like
you. That's what I
all-
was looking for. Your
all-
characteristics.
Your whole movement, your mechanics.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To where it's like, oh, this dude, he's poor. He's probably gonna be hungry. He's probably gonna go try to steal something. That's how they try to, size us up like that. But
Yeah.
they put us in these certain positions in poverty situations and expect the worst.
I mean, man, regardless if they expect the worst or not, though, bro, the main thing is that we here at On to the Next, we're gonna continue to put you guys up on some real life game. And that's really what this is.
If you don't use it, you'll lose it.
You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, y'all running around here like chickens with your heads cut off.
Yeah.
You don't know which direction you going.
Right.
You know what I mean? And y'all thinking that everything is all cool, fine and dandy. Nah, you guys are you are being recorded.
Yeah.
Now, we're all being recorded 24 hours,
Yeah.
7 days a week. Technology has now taken over. It's in your household. It's in your vehicles. It's on your phone.
Yeah.
You can't escape it at all.
Yeah.
No matter how hard you try.
can say some shit to incriminate yourself.
You definitely
what I'm
can.
saying? So, man, people just gotta y'all just gotta want to do better, man. Like all of that YN shit,
Right.
All of that spinning the block,
Right.
It ain't about that no more, fellas. Like,
Yeah. I think Mount Westmore made a song about cameras, man.
oh yeah,
Snoop and
Cameras.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Snoopy 40 and them.
shout out to 40, Snoop Dogg, Too Short,
Yeah.
Cameras.
Because they trying to let people know.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I mean?
There's still OGs out here that's trying to teach the youngsters. It's just, some of these young cats, they don't want to listen, bro. They got to bust their head. They got to go to these maximum state penitentiaries, be in there crying and fighting for their ass.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Real talk.
We don't want that for y'all.
We don't.
That's why we trying to put y'all up on Gizang.
Right, you know what I mean? And that's the real thing right there. And that brings me to something else where you say, you know, we still got a few OGs, but I feel like we just don't have enough.
Yeah.
Because our times were a little bit different. You know what I mean? Like your OGs was gonna discipline that ass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you was
No
out
diddy.
here reckless.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you
So-
all on the phone telling your business or whatever the case is, you gonna get DP'd if you bring a video camera or cell phone anywhere
that
around
wasn't allowed
to the
in the hood.
functions though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Not how they have now, like cameras everywhere. And yeah, look, this little shooter over here, this Dulo. They got bodies. We in the hood.
Yeah.
That was unheard of, bro.
That's horrible. And y'all need to stop all of that. You know what I mean? I'm just keeping it 100.
Dry snitching. It's dry
It's
snitching.
really, that's what it is. It's real life dry snitching. And if you really watching this right now and you are one of those individuals, we talking directly to you. You need to quit incriminating yourself straight up, because at the end of the day, guess what? FBI, LAPD, NYPD,
You
the
making them
CIA, they all
making it
sitting
easy.
back just watching like,
Yeah.
yeah, keep feeding us all of
Yeah,
this stuff.
watching the show.
Because we gonna come and pick you up at some point. Straight up.
Yeah.
That's all information that they don't need to have. And really, times is different, y'all. You know what I mean? So we don't want y'all out here crashing out,
Yeah.
especially y'all young black and brown males.
We need y'all, bro.
We really need y'all. You know what I mean? And speaking of young black and brown males, you know what I mean? I find it a little disturbing that there is, you know, there's a divide between our young people out here on these streets. You know what I'm saying? Our young people are out here really crashing out. There's a divide, but then there's somewhat a togetherness on clown shit. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And at some point, we got to come together out here. And you're going to always hear me preach this, Tonto. You know what I mean? Because I grew up in a time where we had definitely OGs that would tell us to do some of the right things. It's like, hey, look, man, y'all get up out of here. You know, make sure you're
sure.
staying in school.
Yeah.
Take care, stay off of them drugs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now you got, everything is about being on drugs. Everything is about popping this pill or that pill.
Or crashing out.
You know, crashing out.
Doing the
Everything is
most-
about upping the
doing the
blicky
wildest
and
shit.
doing the wildest shit. And it's just like, I understand this is y'all era, this is y'all time, but you guys got to understand that's your quickest way to your grave
Yeah.
or to your jail cell.
And
Straight
it's just
up.
a phase. That shit is gonna pass by. Then it's gonna be like, damn, I wasted all my time doing all of this shit that don't matter. Now real life is starting.
Real life is starting.
Man,
Everybody got tattoos all over their face. You know what I mean? Everybody's trying to get a body on their phone
right?
to get some followers.
Right.
Everybody's trying to beat people up on camera to get some followers. It is real life crazy out here. It's man.
Look, you know they got females out here saying they don't even want the dude if he ain't got no body.
Wow.
As far as
Are
like-
you serious,
Yeah,
bro?
man, like,
that's crazy.
That's what they promote now. Like that shit is goofy.
it really is, man.
But that's when but the youngsters, they call themselves demons, young niggas.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They promote too much.
It's in the
negative shit
music
about
too.
theyself.
You know, it's definitely within the music. And, you know, no disrespect to any artist or anything like
man.
out there, but you know, there is a chokehold on our youth right now. There is a chokehold on the entire culture, and what is being perpetuated is, I think it's horrible, bro. You know what I mean? And so, you know, I really just kind of wanted to give that message out to our young people out there, because, you know, this is serious. And not going to be the first nor the last time that we talk about this, because in other episodes, we'll get into the music and things of that nature. We'll get into what's going on in the industry. But this is, again, we going to tell y'all the real. You know, if you came here looking for some exposure, we trying to, you know, tell what's going on in the hood about this person doing this to that person. No, we're going to give y'all
this
the
ain't
real.
that.
You know what I mean? This is not that. You know what I mean? You're not finna come on this podcast and crash out. You know what I mean? And tell all the hood business and things of that
Get
nature.
people incriminated.
You know what I'm saying? Getting people locked up. We're not doing
that's
none of that
weak.
stuff.
That's whack. Like
you know I don't. We
we
didn't.
don't even want y'all to come on here and say nothing incriminating.
Yeah,
That's not our focus.
We didn't come from that culture.
Yeah, man, that's totally goofball. Real killers don't talk. So when niggas is doing all of that, man, you ain't did nothing.
Yeah.
So
You know,
that
honestly,
ain't nothing to brag about. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's really nothing to
come
brag
on,
about, bro.
Come on, bro.
But you know, yeah, I just wanted to get that out there. You know what I mean? Because I was on my chest.
Well said, brother.
You know what I mean?
I feel that.
Speaking of on my chest, man, what you know about what you know about this dude right here, bro?
What's that, man? McLovin.
This is McLovin. What y'all know about McLovin, man?
We
you know
need more love,
saying?
less war. You feel me?
You know what I'm saying? Hey, dope movie, super bad back in the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
classic. Funny shit.
Yeah, man, it's classic, man. And this guy right here was definitely a young, funny dude within the movie. You know what I mean? So if you ever watch the movie, you're gonna get the context of why I'm wearing this and what this represents. Speaking of movies,
movies.
Speaking of movies,
yeah.
Did you get a chance to see Sinners?
Oh man, Sinners was dope. You talking about the Ryan Coogler movie?
Yes, bro. Ryan Coogler, man,
super dope.
Super dope.
Super dope.
I think I'm gonna go watch it again.
Yeah, man. Really, all of his movies is hard, bro. Like, and then look, he's a young cat too, man. He's from the West Side.
Yeah,
you know, he's from the Yay area.
Yeah,
Oakland. Yeah. Shout out to the Bay.
Yeah, shout out to
Yay
the Bay
area.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he is one of the top producers in Hollywood at the moment, man.
Definitely.
Producer / director.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Screenwriter.
Let me make sure we give him all of his flowers and his credits because he is a dope director, bro.
For sure.
He gave us Black Panther 1 and 2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Creed.
And Creed 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah. Fruitvale Station.
Yeah, man. You know what I mean? Him and Michael B. Jordan got a dope relationship.
Yeah.
Them dudes just coming with movies.
That's his partner.
Them dudes is,
and Michael B. Jordan is dope too. Shout out to Michael B.
Shout out Michael B. Jordan, man. You know what I mean?
He low key is sex symbol, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey man, no Diddy, bro. No Diddy, bro.
Stick it right here. I'm not saying he's a sex symbol for me. I'm just looking at the brother like that's good. I love to see black brothers is not doing feminine shit on TV.
Yeah,
he's a man, everything he play. He ain't never played no sucker shit.
Yeah.
Because we not condoning no sucker shit.
Yeah.
No disrespect to anybody that like, you know, dibbling, dabbling with your acting stuff, but he's a stand-up dude.
Hey man, he's a good dude. You know what I mean? Ryan Coogler though is definitely
he's genius.
He's a new type of director that Hollywood needs.
Yeah.
And there was a time where, you know, certain movies were being produced. And it's kind of like we got fell out of that. And you know, when you look back at it, I'm talking about things like Meteor Man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
That
Hollywood Shuffle.
That was Robert Townsend.
You know what I'm saying? That's
Robert
what I'm talking
Townsend,
about. You know, bringing it back. You know what I mean? Like good movies that have been made out there. You know, like he is solidifying his role within Hollywood, making these really great informative movies.
Yeah, and not no remake of shit. You know what I'm saying? He's doing like the first time shit scene. You know what I'm saying? Like, we never seen no a black. Well, I don't want to spoil it for the people that ain't seen the movie, but Sinners, the way he shot that movie, we never seen nothing like that in that type of setting. You know what I'm saying?
Not at all.
That was super dope, bro.
All right. You know, so
even Black Panther, bro.
Yeah, Black Panther I still watch that, bro. I've watched Black Panther, I don't know, a good 20 times, bro.
That's crazy.
I'm keeping it 100. That was my movie when it came out.
Bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, bro.
R.I.P. to Chadwick Boseman.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
R.I.P.
But that was like the movie when it came out. And I actually love Black Panther 2.
Yeah.
I love part 2. They did a really good job with that. And, you know, I can't wait to see this kind of spin-off that they got going with what is it, Iconic? That just is that what we talk about? That's the name of it? Is
the
it
next little joint?
Ironheart. You know what I'm saying? Good looking out, Rascal. Appreciate that, man. Ironheart.
That's gonna be on what? Disney?
I think it's Disney Plus. Bro, that's gonna be a dope series.
Hey, look, everything he touched is stupid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you see, like he for that first movie he did the Fruitvale, he won the grand prize, the grand jury prize and advance award at the Sundance Film Festival. That was his first film.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying? The Creed movie, that was his second movie. It was cool. It was dope. But then he came back with the Black Panther.
Yeah.
And that made like over 1.3 billion worldwide.
Yeah.
1 and 2, you know what I'm saying, together. 1.3 billion, bro, that's crazy.
Damn.
And then Sinners made over 287 million worldwide.
Ooh.
So bro is cracking, man, and he's a young brother. You feel me? Young brother, man.
Oh man, you know
So
what I'm saying?
that's
That's
exciting, man. That's exciting, bro.
I like to see I like to see men doing what they love to do.
Yeah,
And he's definitely a great storyteller, a great visionary.
yeah,
And he has this way of making his movies to, really make you think.
yeah.
There's always a hidden message in his movies.
He used a lot of celebrated melanated culture. You know what I'm saying? Featuring black cast, all
that.
black cast. You know what I'm saying?
I love that.
And we don't see that a lot. So it ain't nothing wrong with having an all black cast. That's not being racist. It's just
No, there's nothing wrong with it. I
we're
mean,
trying
man,
to
there are a ton
empower our
of
people.
movies out there where it's nothing
Come on,
but
man.
Caucasians. You know what I
Easy
mean?
call.
So it's nothing wrong with it. Again, he's doing what he wants to do.
yes, bro.
And I think it's really good for the culture.
Dope, bro. Because it give us motivation and inspiration and let us know that we can do it. You know what I'm saying?
Man, this is crazy. Speaking of movies, what is your top 3 movies, old or new?
I gotta say, I'm gonna say Menace to Society 1.
Okay.
I like Rosewood.
Ooh,
You ever
wow,
seen that?
Rosewood. I forgot about
You
Rosewood.
seen that? That was crazy. And I gotta say, I gotta roll with I want to say Sinners, but I think I gotta say Black Panther because that was like one of the most unique movies I ever seen.
Okay.
And watching TV, like Black Panther was like creme de la creme, how we need to be.
Ah,
You see what I'm saying?
okay.
So I gotta roll with them 3, bro.
That's a good 3. I'm gonna step outside the box a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna hit you with Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, that was dope.
So
Tarantino
is a cold director.
Yeah, he's dope.
We need you back out there, Tarantino.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you told some cold stories.
Yeah, his shit is
You know what I
fly.
mean?
He's dope.
He's a dope.
And Pulp Fiction was super tight.
Pulp Fiction was super tight.
Yeah.
Movie that I watched a couple of nights ago, which I'm like, damn, I used to watch this movie all the time. I don't know who directed it. Good movie. Out of Mexico. It was Desperado.
Oh, Desperado
Actually,
was dope too.
that's Quentin Tarantino too. To
Yeah.
keep it 1,000. Yeah.
Hey, but you already know we like shoot 'em up, bang bang. He's one of them dudes that's kind of graphic and funny.
Yeah, man.
So, yeah, bro, Desperado was hard.
Desperado was hard.
You got
That had
one more.
Antonio Banderas and oh my gosh, what is the young lady's name, man?
I know what you're talking about.
Selma Hayek. Woo!
Yeah. Yeah. Wasn't that like a vampire movie too?
Nah.
Desperado?
Nah.
Oh, I'm thinking about
Ah.
what's that other movie when they was the vampires in that bar? That shit was crazy too. That was like Sinners.
Yeah.
For sure.
It was the influence of it.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, that was hard.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna say my third one, bro. My third one has to be I'm gonna go with and this is of I want to say somewhat new. And this is for the youngsters out there, for the kids, because I grew up on that. Transformers 1.
Transformers is dope too.
So Transformers 1, I liked it. I'm gonna tell you why.
I like all of the Transformers.
I'm gonna tell you why, because it really told the story of Optimus Prime and what's my guy's name? Megatron. You know what I mean? It really gave you the story, the origin. And it was really something that I was just like, damn, I kind of grew up on. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but you know, those are the 3 that kind of come to mind. We're gonna always do this with each other, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Talk about movies because you know, me and you, we love to watch movies,
For
bro.
sure.
You know, and that's just one of the things. But you know, it's always good to, you know, take yourself to a movie every now and then, have a good time and kind of do your thing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
See some different culture. You know
See some different cultures, see some different things, you know what I mean? And just, you know, movies tell a lot of stories.
Yeah.
That's what we would say. Movies tell a lot of stories. They have a lot of subliminal messages. And some of these movies can kind of predict what the future is going to be looking like.
Hey, question.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a movie that made you cry?
I want to say yes.
Yeah, bro. That's crazy.
I want to say
You ever
yes.
see a movie that make you cry? It's like, damn,
Yeah.
that shit is some touching shit, bro.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's definitely there. I want to say yes. I can't think of right off the back, but that's something for us to come
Yeah,
back
for sure.
to. You know what I mean?
sure.
But I want to say there's definitely a few movies out there that have definitely touched my soul.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? As an
We're
individual.
gonna bring that back to y'all, so we're gonna touch y'all so.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But again, you know what I mean? As we continue to build this platform, this is just number 2.
Mm-hmm.
We got some stuff in store for y'all. You know what I mean? So we just really getting our feet wet.
Amen.
You know what I mean? Giving you guys a glimpse into the world of Tonto and Sin, giving you a glimpse into the world of how we look at journalism. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just really trying to give you guys information. You know what I mean? Like we said, we're not your average podcast because, again, the things that we have coming, we about to twist y'all all the way up. You know what I mean? So, again, this is number 2.
Oops.
I'm your host, Big Sin, the producer.
Yes, sir.
Big Sin, aka Life of Sin. I'm chilling with my main man,
Tonto De Niro, aka Mr. Clean.
you already know what it is, and we are on to the next. Yeah, we gonna get at y'all.
On.
Bang, bang, bang.
Yes, sir.
On to the next.